Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jack. You can call me Dexterous. We are live. A bit later than I expected. My call ran over, so I'll be starting work a little later tomorrow. And here we are. So, let's jump straight into it. We are in the castle. We're in Grancel Castle right now. Doing some exploring. And we're going to try and find the head maid. I can't remember if there's any like chests and things here, but for now we are going to be talking with some peeps.
Oh, 来たか、エステル君、ヨシワ君。あ、久しぶりだの。
I'll put my glasses on. Actually, I should probably clean them first. No way, Headmaster Collins. Wait, you were invited to the banquet too?
今日の定期戦でルーアンから飛んできたのだよ。それよりも、
The castle music's really good, actually.
武術大会で優勝したそうだ
Good
ね。
evening, Raxor. Hello,
ジェル
hello.
君たちが聞いたら喜ぶだろう。
Thank you so much. We weren't expecting you to be attending tonight's banquet, Headmaster. Oh wait, no. Now they've all stopped talking. All right, let me pause while I clean my glasses. I need to get some more glasses cleaner. I'm running a little low. How am I? I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, just busy. There's an audit at work, so I've got to organize a lot of the evidence gathering for that audit, which is fun. So that's gonna take up my time for the next like 3 weeks, basically. But yeah, work's busy, but it's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. How are you doing? No surprise you'd be invited to the banquet at the castle. Calling me one of the kingdom's wisest figures is praise indeed. What's the Royal Assembly? It's an annual conference where they make decisions on national issues. Her Majesty the Queen, mayors from across the kingdom, and various other people come together to discuss the future. Whoa, I had no idea. So basically all the people who were invited to tonight's banquet, right? No, not quite. This is only about half of them, actually. Her Majesty isn't well, and General Morgan is busy with military affairs. Mayor Dalmore was arrested for Professor Russell. There's still so much unclear about that incident that remains unclear. It's said to have been the work of a terrorist group, even with the Royal Guard involved. But how could that be? And I mean, hosting a banquet after all that's gone on? It's absurd. Well, it seems to me that we must attend the banquet if we wish to fathom the Duke's true intentions. We need to obtain permission to visit Her Majesty the Queen as well. Indeed. That's precisely why I'm here. The idea that we would come all this way to Grancel Castle and to be unable to see Her Majesty is unthinkable. And after all this time, I'd really like to see Princess Claudia. You love being asked to gather information for audits by people who are in charge. I know, it's fun, isn't it? Just delegation of work, which I don't mind. Like, I don't mind doing stuff, but it's like... The problem is chasing people who are, like, more senior than you for info. And in their heads, they're just there thinking, like, oh, I'm more senior than you, therefore this just isn't important. And then it gets to, like, a really short timeline on the audit. And then they start stressing out. And I'm like, well, I told you 3 weeks in advance. You know what I mean? So, we'll see how it goes. But I sent out an email today to a group of contacts that will be providing some of the evidence for the areas that I'm covering of the audit. And the lady responded immediately, literally like 10 minutes later, saying, oh, this person's doing this. So, fingers crossed it's easy for me. Even have customers asking me to gather data for their systems for audits. Wait, really? I mean, to be honest, I get that, though, because it depends if you're, like, supplying a company, for example, like, that is basically what I'm doing. So I'm sort of managing the evidence of two areas of the company. And one of them's a financial system, and the other is like a what's the word for it? It's a system for client information, basically. And it's a third-party system, so we have to reach out to the third party and basically say, like, can we have your SOC report? Can, you know, all this stuff. So the people that reach out to you are probably like me. It's mostly for Cyber Essentials and 27,001. Could be other frameworks too. Yeah. So this one is like SOC mainly. But our company has like Cyber Essentials, 27,001, and all the other. Like, I'm only really familiar with 27,001. That's what I worked with before I joined this company. But they have a lot of other ISO certs that I that didn't really work with before. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. Princess Claudia, she's the Queen's granddaughter, right? Does she also live in the castle? It's funny how our jobs are quite similar. We do have like a connection between our work, it seems, Raxel. I know, we're just chatting about cybersecurity and SL's like, who? Who? As tech-savvy as a drunk pom. No, apparently she usually resides elsewhere. But it seems she's been in the royal capital for the past few days. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. Oh, really? I'd like to meet her too. I'm sure you two will have the opportunity to meet her. Hell yeah. Alrighty, what other guests have we got? Oh, of course, Mayor Maybell and Leela. Oh, Mayor Maybell! And Leela too.
やっと会えましたわね。お二人が訪ねてきてくださるのを今か今かと待っていましたのよ。
So you were invited to the banquet too, Mayor Maybell? Wait, how do you know we'd be
クラ
here?
ンス市長から聞いたんですの。お二人が武術大会に出場して見事優勝して晩餐会に招かれたって。
We did kind of pop the fuck off. Oh, I'm actually, I'm not annoyed, but basically I had like a quiet morning at work today. So while I was doing work, I was installing some Vita games, basically. And I was trying to install the Grisaya series. There's like 3 games on the Vita. I think you can get them on Steam, but I thought, you know what, I may as well... I feel like visual novels are a handheld thing, do you know what I mean? So I installed all 3 of them and installed the English patches for them. And then the first one worked, but then the other 2 just didn't work. I kept getting an error message, and apparently it's like a very blanket error message where it's just like, it could be anything. So I tried a few fixes and it didn't work. So I sort of chalked it up to them being bad, like rips of the game, because every other game that I've got has been fine. So, but I have the first one at least. But it's been, I've really been enjoying like modding my Vita. It's been really good fun, and I've been playing it every night in bed for the past like 2 or 3 days. Playing visual novels. It's really cool to just relax in bed with it, really. It's a neat little console. It's a neat little console. And it's done a solid job of getting me into it, considering I never had a Vita or a PSP before. I was always a Nintendo handheld kid. So, yeah, it didn't have the nostalgia hit, but the Vita is a really good console. Really cool. You find your Switch hard to use in handheld. It's too big. Oh. Do you find the, maybe it's too small rather than too big? Or do you mean like, because for me, I've got, I found it difficult with the, basically, so like, I've got like a case thing on, right? So I can just slide this off. I found it really difficult just to use the actual Switch itself. It is quite big. I know what you mean, but I really did not like using the Joy-Cons in like a handheld mode. So I bought this like grip thing from a company called Satisfy. I would really recommend it. And it's basically, you can kind of just slot it in, and then it effectively just becomes like a massive handheld. And I found this way easier to play in handheld. So you have like, it feels like you've actually got like handles to hold on to, right? And because I've got really big hands, and I felt like just holding the Switch 2 in handheld mode without this kind of cover case thing made it just really awkward. And after like an hour and a half, my hands would ache. So I invested in this. Would really recommend it. It came from America. I got the case with it as well. I think it was like $39.99 or something like that for the case and the holder. And I've not looked back. And it actually made me play in handheld mode more. So maybe just buy like a cheap one off Amazon and see how you feel with it before jumping into this. That's what I would say. But I know what you mean. It's a big console. Like, it is a big handheld console. And when you compare it to like a PS Vita or a DS, you know, it's massive. So, yeah. But I don't think there's anything wrong with like setting it on the table and playing that way. The problem I had with my original Switch was I never played it handheld though, and I felt like it defeated the point of having the console. I was like, why am I buying a Switch if I'm just gonna play it docked forever? So I've made sort of a conscious effort to play this one a lot more in handheld mode. And it helps when you have like a really good OLED screen, and then you've got, I don't know if it's OLED actually, but you've got a good high quality screen, 60 FPS, you know, yeah, it's just nicer. You don't even have a good, to be honest, my TV's kind of ass as well. I think my TV was like a 250 quid Toshiba from Amazon when I moved in. It's 4K and it does the job, but the color stuff on it isn't the best. What TV have you got, Raxel? Ancient 43 inch. I think mine's 43 inch, or maybe it's bigger. The thing is, I don't have the biggest like space because my TV's right there. I just don't really have the biggest space for one. Does the job though. And I don't watch TV. I only use it to play on my PS5 and my Switch. So yeah. Although sometimes I do watch movies on it. It's an even older 1080p 55. Yeah, you've really got some old ones. Yeah, I don't even pay for a TV license. I literally just don't watch TV anymore. I have a HDMI setup from my my PC to the TV. So if I want to watch movies, I just connect the HDMI to the TV and just stream it from my PC, which is good. I've done that before. But yeah, I mainly, if I use it for watching anything, it's like Twitch or YouTube on the PS5. Yeah. I actually forgot how much of a looker Maybelle was. She's so pretty. Busy as ever, huh? Honestly, if I were here for Her Majesty, I wouldn't mind it one bit, but wasting time on the Duke. Unfortunately, a young female officer from the army kept insisting I attend, so I had no choice but to come. Would that young officer be Captain Almathea from the Intelligence Division by any chance? Yep, the very one. She was polite, but in a cold, arrogant kind of way. I don't much care for her. I've had trouble contacting General Morgan recently as well. Wait, what? You haven't been able to reach Harkham Gate? Oh, I've tried. They keep telling me the General's unavailable, and they refuse to let me speak to him. Apparently, he's too tied up with countermeasures against the terrorist threats. I was hoping to meet him tonight. But it seems he won't be attending. I see. What do you think about all this? Gathering all these mayors together for a banquet, I mean. If it were hosted by Her Majesty, I'd expect an important announcement. But I get the impression the Duke just called us here to make himself feel important. You know, to use this authority as an excuse to lord it over us just for the sake of it. And that does seem like his style. I suppose that might indeed be all there is to it. Well, they do say the head of chef here is the best in the kingdom. I'll enjoy some good food, pay my respects to Her Majesty, and head back to Bose as soon as I can. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's probably the right thing to do. But we do know why they're, we do know, obviously, why we're here. I'm just gonna lap up this violin, though. Who else have we got, then? Yeah, we've got Murdoch. Who's the other one? I can't remember who it'll be. Mr. Murdoch. Since all the mayors are attending, I had a feeling you'd be too. We are goated with the sauce. I'm excited to finish this, and I don't mean that in like a negative way. It's because I think I'll finish this game with quite a lot of time left, because it's about like 5 or 6 weeks until, I think it's 6 weeks actually, until the second remake comes out. So that gives me time to maybe just do some odd streams where I just play like Uma Musume or a gacha game and just kind of do some grinding on that, you know? I don't have to lock into playing a game for a little bit. So I might enjoy that. We'll see how it goes though, because I do want to play Utawaru Rumono. And maybe I'll start that like a week or two before. And then when Sky Remake 2nd comes out, I can do what I was going to do, which would be Sky twice a week, and then Friday can kind of be like variety, I guess. Well, you know, we did have a lot of help along the way. By the way, has anything else happened during the past few days? How was your weekend, by the way, Raxor? Did you have a nice weekend? So right after you two headed off for the capital, Olmathir from the Intelligence Division paid me a visit. I couldn't refuse the invitation, but I managed to cover up what happened at the fortress. It doesn't seem like the army's found Professor Russell yet, so they're still likely on the run. But if things keep going like this, it's only a matter of time before they're caught. Is that right? I tried asking Captain Olmathir if I could visit Her Majesty, but it was an absolute no. It seems meeting with her directly is going to be rather difficult. It seems that way for sure. But don't worry, we've got a plan. We'll make sure Her Majesty gets the Professor's message. It was alright, you got some gardening done. Yeah, busy. I had a lazy-ass weekend. I went out on Saturday to do some shopping. I bought some soaps from Lush, which was very nice. And I got something else, but I can't remember what it was. What did I get? I had lunch. I think that was it. Did I just get the Lush soaps? No, I got something else as well. Oh, yes, I got eye drops because my eyes had been a bit sore. So I got some eye drops from Boots. And then, other than that, I stayed at home and played video games all weekend. It was absolutely divine. And this weekend is not really going to be any different. Because the next 3 weeks after this weekend, I am very busy again. So I'm going to make the most. I think on Saturday I'm going to a friend's house to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! But that'll only be for like 3 or 4 hours. And then I'll be by myself for the rest, which will be nice again. I'm going to try and not spend as much money this month. I'm in the fortunate enough position where I have a good enough paying job where I save money every month, pretty much, regardless of what I spend. Within reason, of course. You know, if I bought like a fucking £2,000 computer, then I'd be struggling. But I want to try and save as much as I can this month. So I'm gonna not spend really anything outside of my my monthly stuff. So my weekly food budget, my subscriptions, so like Spotify and stuff, and then all my bills. And I'm going to see how much I can save. I should be able to save a good chunk. You bought the Switch 2 this month, yeah. And you're going to buy an Apple Watch from remember. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, sometimes certain months just spring up, and then you spend a bit more than you think. When I bought my Switch 2, I did PayPal Pay in 3, so it kind of split the costs a bit. But when you have like, so my birthday was obviously like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now there's not my dad's birthday isn't until October, so there's a big gap between that, and obviously Christmas is a while away. My brother's birthday's in September, but we don't really buy anything massive anyway. So yeah, August should on paper be a cheap month for me, which I'm hoping it stays that way, because I'd like to save a lot more money. You bought the Switch in store. Do you remember how much it was? Because I don't think the prices had gone up yet, had they? $385. So yeah, you got it before the prices went up. That's good. So I got my Switch 2 and the Mario Kart bundle from Argos. I think it was like $389 or something like that. But I was able to just order it in store in their like online, and then I just walked into the city centre and picked it up. It was nice. I hadn't bought from Argos in a long, long time, so it was quite fun to go in there again. We've got bigger fists. Sorry, I was just not really doing the voices there. I was reading. Okay, so this is where the queen. Oh, sorry, the queen and the princess, Princess Claudia. I bet that's the royal keep. Also, my friend gifted me. I think I mentioned it before, but my friend got me the Digimon. What's it called again? There's too many Digimon games now. Digimon Story Time Stranger. I've been really enjoying that. It's been really good. What's the one I have on PS4? Digimon Survive. Yeah. Hey, these guys. We were invited here by the Duke. Is this where Her Majesty resides? That's right. But for the past few days, Her Majesty's been feeling unwell. There's no point in even asking for an audience. Oh no, we wouldn't even dream of asking for something like that. Although we were hoping to catch a brief glimpse of her. I don't suppose Princess Claudia's here. No, she's actually... Hey. She's actually attending to Her Majesty. She doesn't have time to entertain the likes of you, obviously.
こんなところで何をなさっているのですか?
Hilda! Madame, you're leaving already.
もうすぐ晩餐会ですから、一旦控室に引き上げます。ところで、こちらのお客様は?
They're members of the team that won the Royal Tournament. Just bracers, but sort of invited guests, it seems. Just bracers, huh?
無礼者。あなた方は王女の招待客を侮辱するおつもりですか?
Tell him, Hilda. We're just...
たとえ招かれたのが公爵閣下でも、城を来訪された方は陛下のお客様。
Yeah.
そのことを忘れてもらっては困ります。
Roger that. Wow, what a presence. I wonder if she's... But Madame, we cannot permit them to pass. That should have been clear from the colonel's explanation.
そのことは聞き飽きました。申し訳ありません、お客様。警備上の理由で女王宮の付近に近づくことは禁じられています。できれば晩餐会が始まるまでお部屋でお待ちくださいませんか?
Sure. Of course, that would seem like it'd be for the best. I'm terribly sorry for the trouble we caused. As long as that's clear now, it's fine. Be careful on your way back. Those guards are really funny. I can't wait for them to try chatting up Estelle and Joshua when they're in their main outfits. It's gonna be funny as fuck.
見苦しいところをお見せしましたね。申し遅れました。
Hilda!
私の名はヒルダと言います。グランセル城の助官長として次女の監督に当たっております。
I knew it. So you're Lady
お
Hilda.
や、失礼ですが、面識がありましたでしょうか?
No, but we were sent on an important mission. Help me, Obi-Wan Hilda. You're my only hope. Actually, someone told us about you.
この筆跡は...
Whoa, you recognize it. This letter and our bracer emblem should serve as proof of our identities.
ここでは何ですから、次女たちの控室に参りましょう。そこで話を伺わせていただき。
Oops, sorry, Hilda. So what's your next game then, Raxor, after you've 100%ed Halo, the Halo campaign evolved, or whatever it was called? What's next on the list? I understand. You want to deliver Professor Russell's message directly to Her Majesty the Queen. Is that right? Yes, exactly. If the Queen's condition is really that bad, I guess I could reconsider, but it shouldn't be a problem. However, the Royal Keep is under constant surveillance by Special Ops soldiers. The only people allowed inside are the Duke, the Colonel, and those directly entrusted with Her Majesty's care. So it'll probably be difficult to meet her, huh? What do you think, Estelle? We could have Lady Hilda deliver the message for us. Yeah, but I'd rather speak to her in person. Like, about Duke Junan's intentions and Colonel Richard's objectives. There's still so much we don't know. No idea. You're playing Xenoblade, which you got Friday. Nice. Wait, are you playing the first Xenoblade? Or the Xenoblade 2 remake? The first one. Have you played it before? Or are we both Xenoblade 1 newbies? Because I'm a massive noob. I think I'm on... You played it years ago. Ah, boo. I'm a noob in my own right. I think I'm on chapter 13 now. I'm enjoying it. I played it a little bit the other day. I might play a little bit more tonight, actually. I have an idea. After the banquet ends, come back and find me. Oh, you mean? You know of a way for us to meet Her Majesty the Queen? I might. It won't be straightforward, but I think it's worth a try. It will require some time to prepare. Would it be alright if we waited until after the banquet? Oh, yay, of course! Alright, we'll come by after the banquet. I'll be here. The food is ready, so the banquet will begin shortly. Please head back to your room for the time being. You're just chilling at the start, farming / maxing a scene. Yeah, so I'm not super completionist, I guess. I'm not like, I mean, I have 100%ed some games on Steam, but on the Switch, I'm not that fussed. So I don't think I'm gonna spend hours and hours and hours on the game. I don't think I'll be like, I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it'll hook me, but it didn't. I think if I'm on chapter 13, I've done a lot of side quests, but there are so many, and they feel a bit like lifeless side quests. So I don't do them all the time. I basically just make sure I'm a high enough level to defeat the bosses or the monsters that in the area that I'm in, right? But also, like, when I finish the game, I don't like starting an RPG on the same console where I'm already playing one. So I want to finish... I do want to finish Xeno 1 before I start another game on Switch 2. Do you like how broken Melia is? She's only broken when you play her, right? Because the AI sucks. I've just been playing as Shulk, really, because he's the MC, you know? My main party's been Dunban, Shulk, and the healer girl, Kaja, just because I didn't want to risk anyone dying. But I played as Dunban for a little bit. That was quite fun. But I haven't tried Melia too much. Ricky, Ryan, Dunban. Yeah, that's cool. I feel like if I was replaying it, I would probably drop Shulk. I've heard the AI for Shulk is also not very good. But because he's the main character, I feel like I'm kind of obligated to keep him there in the party. But maybe if I replay it in the future, I'll just get rid of him. You guys were gone for a long time. The banquet's about to start, you know. My bad's in. We got caught up looking around and lost track of time. Plus, we ended up chatting with a few different mayors. Oh, got friends in high places, huh? We've always had a good relationship with the mayor of Roland. The others are just people we've met along the way. I see. Working as Bracer does give you lots of chances to meet important people. And from the looks of it, you two have been doing very well for yourselves. Well, pretty well, I guess. Zin, have you taken on any bracer work since you got back to the capital? Bracers can take jobs in other countries, right? Yeah, as a senior bracer, you're free to work anywhere. But what with the tournament and all the embassy paperwork, I haven't had time to take on anything extra. Besides, with 4 other bracers around, there isn't much left for me to do anyway. Makes sense. I imagine most issues would be solved pretty quickly with this many bracers on hand. Though, yeah, they don't know that Zin's here for them, right? I feel like Zin tells them in the castle that Cassius asked him to come. Though it must be tough for other regional branches with so many bracers gathered here. You bet it is. I feel kind of bad. I wonder how Shera's doing in Roland. You mentioned that name before, but you don't mean Sherazade, do you? You know her? Yeah, she's our mentor. We've been close for a very long time. That's how you know her. Well, I met her once when she came to Calvert. She had a great teacher, and even though she was young, she showed a lot of promise. A great teacher? Must be Dad. Excuse me. The preparations for the banquet are now complete. Shall I show you the way? Finally. Alright, kiddos, time to dig in and enjoy a free meal. Yeah, after that match, I could feel myself wasting away. Time to eat my body weight in food. You guys, don't forget your table manners, okay? Bro, I would be so nervous, like, eating with the queen, you know, or the king. It's etiquette rules and all that. This is a dinner party, right? Why are the plates empty? Where's the food? What's with the knives and forks? It's a formal dinner. They'll bring out different dishes one at a time, starting with the appetizers. As for the utensils, work your way from outside in. Is this what you meant by table manners? Now I'm starting to get nervous. There's no need to worry. The most important thing is to enjoy the food. Manners and etiquette are secondary. Yes, well put. I hear that the two of you already know everyone in attendance, is that right? Then there's no need to be so on edge. Yeah, you're right. Don't get too carried away, please. Actually, will your companion be alright using a knife and fork? I heard that people from the east are more comfortable using chopsticks. You know your stuff, huh? But as they say, when in Le Burle... It may not be very elegant, but I'll manage with a knife and fork. Very admirable. Sentiment truly befitting of champion of the royal tournament. It's not all that impressive. He's like pussy in the hand of a beautiful woman, huh? Wouldn't exactly call him a womanizer, but... Speaking of manners, the Duke's running quite late. Where could he possibly be? Indeed. And the other one. And with the Duke presiding, who will sit in the place of honor? That's a good question. I wonder if it'll be Princess Claudia, perhaps.
皆様、
Oh,
大変長らくお待たせしました。
Philip!
公爵閣下ご入室でございます。
I love characters that only open their eyes when they need to lock in. So you've got Philip, you've got Leela, Thomas Lysander. What other Trails characters only lock in when they open their eyes? I think those are the main ones, right? I know that there's the kid Gustav in Cold Steel 3, but I don't think we see him open his eyes. Gien? Maybe? I feel like there's one more that I'm missing that's glaringly obvious. I can't remember. Oh, I mean, Alba's the obvious one, actually. Yeah, Alba. Like, this whole game, Alba just doesn't really open his eyes, and when he does, it's like proper shifty.
少々打ち合わせが長引いてしまったものでな。彼はリシャール大佐、王国軍情報部の責任者でな。テロ事件を解決するために日夜尽力してくれているので、例の意味も込めて招待した。
お初にお目にかかります。王国軍情報部のリシャールです。公爵閣下の格別のご好意で晩餐会に招待していただきました。無粋な軍服で失礼ですが、どうか同席をお許しいただきたい。
You know, it's funny seeing Richard like this.
まさか大佐と一緒のテーブルで食事するなんて。
Like, Richard aura farms so much in Sky the Third. And to be honest, in Sky the Second, he has the moment he aura farms when he's protecting Chloe and the Queen from Ouroboros. That's actually going to be a sick scene to see. I've just thought about that. We spoke about it a few weeks ago, but yeah, I'm really excited. When I think about certain scenes in Trails, the remakes, and how they're going to do them, there are so many good moments in the second chapter.
予想はしていたけど、やっぱり少し緊張するね。
Right, I'm actually gonna, when it gets to a dialogue point that I can stop, I'm gonna turn on my aircon because it's getting a bit warm. It's really humid right now. We've been expecting rain all day, and it's just not raining. And I need the rain. I need the rain to clear up this air. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, get me a good thunderstorm, please. Maybe I love going to bed when there's a thunderstorm. I just fucking love it. So the way my flat is, like I'm on the top floor of my flat building, right? And I have a balcony outside my bedroom. And the way the like gutters run when it's raining like really heavily, the water like pitter-patters out of the or into the gutter and also like out of it if it's overflowing. But I love the noise that rain makes onto gutters. It just sends me into a absolute lull. It's so relaxing. Give me a thunderstorm and heavy rain, please. Let me have a look at the forecast while these guys are yapping. Yeah, apparently we're just not expecting any rain now.
素晴らしい腕前ですわ。ワインとの相性も完璧ですし、思わず引き抜きたくなりますわね。
60% humidity.
そなたが言うとあながち冗談には聞こえないな。
Jesus,
ど
that's
う
hot.
だジンとやら東方人のそなたの口には合うかな。
いや、大変結構ですな。無情法な自分の舌にもわかる洗練された深みと味わい、リベール料理の真髄を味わっているような心境です。
Our king's in.
そうだろう。どうだ若き遊撃士たちよ。こんな豪勢な
It is
料理
funny
は
how he
今まで
doesn't
食べたことが
recognize
な
us.
かろ
確かにめちゃめちゃ美味しいです。招待してくれた人はともかく料理だけは本物かも。
Estelle?
う。
Estelle?
そうだろう。そう
A
だろう
very backhanded compliment there. Eh?
本当に素晴らしい料理ですね。
he's not smart enough
そ
to
れ
get
に
it.
今まで
Not
こ
just
ういう
yet.
正式な席に呼ばれる機会がなかったので、とても勉強になります。招待してくださって本当にありがとうございました。
Joshua locked in for that one.
なかなか首相でよろしい。しかし執事から言われてようやく思い出したのだが、そなたたちとはルーアンの事件で一度顔を合わせていたのだな。
Philip wouldn't slander us though.
なん
We
と
know
も
that.
奇妙な縁があったものだ。
そうですね。執事さんから言われるまで思い出せなかったわけね。
さあ今夜は無礼講だ。料理も酒もたっぷりあるから遠慮なく追加を申し出るがいい。
公爵閣下、その前に例の話を済ませてしまってはいかがですか。
Oh dear. Richard,
Oh,
we're just about to eat food, bro. Stop talking about your fucking coup d'etat over
実
dinner.
は王国を代表する諸君らに集まってもらったのは他でもない。この晩餐会の席を借りてある重大な発表をしたかったのだ。
He mentions, I think he mentions Chloe getting married, right?
それは一体どのようなお話でしょう
Yeah, I
か。 I
think this is where he talks about that.
ここから先は私の代わりにリシャール大佐に説明してもらおう。
恐縮です。女王陛下がご不調なのはすでにご存知のことかと思います。ですが徐々に回復なさっているためすぐに元気な姿を見せてくださるでしょう。
おお、それはよかった。
では陛下へのお見舞いは許していただけるのかしら。
あいにくですが陛下のご意向でそれは遠慮してほしいとのことです。ただ数日中に王都近辺を騒がすテロリストどもは一掃できる公算です。そのことと合わせて女王生誕祭は予定通りに執り行われるでしょ
市民も楽しみにしているだろうからめでたいことではありますな。だが話というのはそれだけではないのでしょう。
確かにそれだけならば連絡してくれれば済みますからな。
う。察しが良くて助かります。女王陛
Give us
下
the
が
drop.
回復されつつあるの
Come on,
は
Richard,
先ほ
show
ど
us.
述べた通りなのですが、陛下は今回のご不調を理由にある決断をなされたのです。
Oh, wait, yeah,
そ
yeah,
の
yeah,
決
yeah.
断とはすなわち
That he takes over for the time being or whatever.
ご自身の
Yeah.
大位と
Yeah,
こ
yeah.
ちらにおられるディラン公爵閣下への王位継承です。
なんですと。
本当ですの？よしはこれって。
The coup, baby.
とうとう陰謀が姿を現したね。
私も戸惑ったのだが陛下が存外弱気になられてな。無理もない。40年近くもの間激動の時代に翻弄されたリベールを女性
Sexist
の
man.
目で導いてくださったのだ。
Sexist fucking dude.
そう思うとこの生誕祭を最後に俗事から解放して差し上げたい。王位継承権を持つ身としてはそう決意した次第なのだよ。
なんと陛下がそこまでお悩みになっておられたとは。
Really
毎
though?
年お会いしているというのに気づけなかったとは情けない。
Nah, you're a good
しか
Klaus.
しこのようなお酒の入った席で聞くには あまりにも重大すぎる内
I
容です
think
わ。
you're exactly right, Maybell.
失礼ですが、どこまで現実性のあるお話なのでしょう。
メイベル市長、閣下のお言葉が信用できないとそうおっしゃられるか。
そうは言ってません。ただ市長には選挙があるように、王位継承にも叱るべき手続きがあるのではないかと
Yeah,
い
you
うこ
can't
と
you
で
can't
す。
just take someone off the throne and plop
そ
someone back
うで
on.
すな。
It's not quite how it works.
できれ
But
ば陛下から直接
yeah,
今
and
のお
not
話
hearing
を
it
伺いたい
directly
もの
from the
です
Queen is very shifty, isn't it?
皆さんの動揺も理解できます。ですが、どうか冷静になって今の話を受け止めていただきたい。先ほど申し上げたように、生誕祭には
No.
陛下ご自身の口から発表されることになるでしょう。真偽はその時に確かめれば済むことではありませんか？
Yeah, it's just gonna be Almathea behind her with a gun in her back, being like, "Go on
問
then,
題なのは、
tell
この件が
them."
公表された時に一般市民にどう影響を与えるかです。いたずらな混乱を避けるためにも、各市の責任者である皆さんに前もってことを伝えて
No,
おきたい。
yeah, this shit is so funny. I can't remember if they actually explain why they do this, but like, they're like leaders of society, and it's like, okay, well then why are the tournament winners here? Is it because they just didn't expect us to win? But then I also feel like, no, because Richard made Lawrence lose to us. So it's like I think he wants to tell the Bracer Guild as well about what's going on. I think that's the reasoning they
公
give.
爵閣
Maybe?
下はそう判断なさったのです。
まあそういうことだな。
そして陛下の大意ともなれば、事態はリベール国内にとどまりません。
Yeah, here we go.
大陸諸国の目、とりわけ北の脅威たるエレボニアの反応も気がかりでしょう。まさにここにいる我々が新たなる国王陛下を盛り立てながら一致団結をしなくてはならない。そんな時期が迫っているのです。
なんかもっともらしいことを言ってるんですけど。
Yeah, it's what a good talker can do.
大したアジテーターだね。
正式決定は生誕祭の時に陛下から直接伺うとして、心の準備をしておくようにと、つまりそういうことですか？
理解していただいて幸いです。
確かにそういうことになったらわしらも忙しくなりそうじゃな。
そうですわね。
There's a lot of people with amber eyes in this game, I've just realized.
一つお伺いしたい。
Yeah, you tell him, Collins.
公爵閣下に王位継承権が
What
あるのは
about the princess?
私も存じておるが、
I'm pretty sure Collins knows about Chloe's
同
true
位の
identity,
継
doesn't
承
he?
権を持つ方が他にもいらっしゃったはずですな。
それ
Yeah,
は
because that's why they're trying to marry
陛
her
下
off.
のお孫さんにあたるクローディア殿下のことですね。
And Olivier
確かに
was kind of
王室
okay
担当
with
上の規定で
it.
は
Well,
公爵
no,
閣下と
but
同意ではありますが、
he knew what they were doing, but obviously Olivier was like front runner for this, wasn't he?
まだ年派もいかないという理由で陛下は閣下の方を押されたようです。
Lies.
先ほどの話にもありましたが、女性の身に余るほどの重責を姫に負わせたくなかったのでしょう。
Chloe will be a great
そう
queen.
そうなのだ。まあクローディアには良い縁談を探してやるつもりだ。非公式だがすでに他国の王家から何件もの申し入れがあってな。ひょっとしたら今年中にも縁談が実現するかもしれんのだ。
お話はわかりました。そうなるとおめでたい話が2つも続くというわけですな。
Are you sure about that, Collins?
姫様がご結婚されるには少々若すぎるとは思うが。
ちょいと失礼。一つ質問してもいいですかね。
ジーンさん？
ほう？構わん。言ってみるがいい。
失礼だが今耳にした話は自分た
Yeah,
ちの
they
ような
do
部
they
外者が
do
聞いていい
discuss this.
話とは
Good.
思い
I
ません。
forgot about this part.
まして自分は王国人
It's
で
like, yeah, why are they bringing it up with
な
Zin
の
and the
に
braces
なぜ
here?
このような席でわざわざ発表されたのでしょう。
Yeah, exactly.
それは 優勝した君たちが
Yeah,
偶
it
然
is.
にも
It
有
is
力
what I
士だっ
said.
た
Yeah,
からだ。
braces. Okay.
陛下の大位という重大な情報はギルドにも事前に伝えたかった。そう私が閣下に提案したので聞いてもらうことになったのだよ。
なるほど。リベールでは軍とギルドがいい関係を結んでいるという話はどうやら本当だったようですな。
帝国や共和国ほど軍事力が充実していないからね。
Which is what
手を
Richard
結ば
wants
ざる
to
を得ないと
change.
いうシビアな現実があるのだが、いずれにせよ真意はご理解いただけたかね。
うん、了解しました。今日この席で知った情報は王都支部にも伝えておきましょう。
Alrighty. Scene change. Man, we really stumbled into something big, didn't we? It's just another country's business to me, but you two must have been pretty shocked, huh? Duh! Of course we were! We would never think things were already this far along. Huh? Never mind. But what a waste. The food was so delicious and it was melting in my mouth, but everything that happened, it was like eating ash. I hear you there. Estelle, how about we go for a walk to help that food go down? Huh? Lock in, Estelle. Right, yeah, that's a great idea. I really need some fresh air. First sightseeing and now a post-dinner stroll. Hate to admit it, but it sounds like my age is starting to get the better of me. Don't be silly, Zin. Why don't you take a walk too? Space is full of history. There's so much to see. Maybe I'll run around a bit if I feel like it later. Might even try and sneak some leftovers from the kitchen. Wait, for real? You're gonna eat more? I wouldn't call it eating. More like drink time, snacking. I hear there's a lounge where you can get a drink. I'll probably check that out. That's where we chat with Colonel, isn't it? Which I think happens now. No. No, it is. Yeah, I think we chat with Richard first before we get makeover. Things have really gotten out of hand. I'm itching to meet the Queen and hear what's really going on. First, let's stick to the plan and go see Lady Hilda. She said she had a way for us to meet the Queen. Got it. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
おや、
No, I'm
君た
not
ち
wrong.
は
I'm never wrong. Colonel Richard and Tweedledee. Colonel Richard. I love Amethyr. I just love shitting on her too.
エステル君とヨシュア君か。
She's that kind of character that's just really easy to rage bait. And I fuck with that. I like characters that get rage baited, and I like characters that do the rage baiting. It's just funny.
こうして面と向かって話すのは初めてではないか。
Yeah, the last time we spoke was when we exchanged a few words after Mayor Dalma's arrest. Of course, I didn't expect you to remember us.
交わした言葉は少なかったが、君たちは非常に印象的だったからね。気になって調べてみたら驚いたよ。まさかカシウス大佐のお子さんたちだったとはね。
So you figured that out too?
伊達に情報部を名乗っているつもりはないよ。カシウスさんには彼が軍にいた時にお世話になった。それこそ言葉では言い表せないほどね。どうだろう、これから少し話に付き合ってくれないだろうか。君たちとは前から一度個人的に話をしてみたかったのだ。
What?
大佐殿
Don't leave me alone, Richard.
これから公爵閣下との打ち合わせがあるのでは
Tell that oaf he's not worth my fucking time.
少しくらい遅れても構わんよ。そうだな。話すのだったら奥の談話室を借りるとしようか。
Get fucked on with it.
アルコール抜きのカクテルでも振る舞わせてもらうよ。
それでしたら私がお作りしますわ。
いや、それには及ばない。
She's such a... Oh my god, she's so funny.
君は公爵閣下のところに行って私が送れる旨を伝えてくれたまえ。
了解いたしました。
And then she gets... Rage baited, even though we didn't do anything. Yeesh.
それでは失礼しますわ。
She's literally so fucking funny, man. She's like, another woman in the presence of my Colonel Richard. And then drunk Zin will save us later against her too.
私たちも談話室に向かうとしようか。それではついてきたまえ。
Joshua, what do we do? I don't think we have much choice. We'll just have to find Lady Hilda after our chat. Zin just getting drunk below
カシウス
us.
さんと出会ったのは私が士官学校を出たばかりのことだ。当時彼が率いていた独立機動部隊に配属されて、ね、
I don't know what to have for dinner. I've got a chicken burger left. I might do that.
それ以来、彼が軍を辞める時まで公使にわたってお世話になったんだ。
Oh, is that right? What was my dad like back then? I mean, what did you think of him?
一言で言うと英雄だったかな。
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. I don't know. I know it's a video game, right? But I think this is just what makes Trails so fucking cool. It's just like, I know it's nostalgia as well because obviously I've played all of the Trails games that are available, but I just sit here and think about Cassius right now. Obviously, how much everyone, pretty much everyone in Zemuria admires this man, right? I don't think there's a single person who does not admire him in some way, and it just feels like such an understatement on his skill and prowess as just a person that if it was anyone else in his shoes when Laberl was invaded in the 100 Days War, Laberl would just be a part of Erebonia. And I know it's a video game and you can talk about a lot of what ifs and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's just like, I'm just kind of looking at, I love things like that, the what if, you know, but Cassius is just the GOAT. So, of course, he was able to, you know, repel the attacks against Erebonia. Or attack from Erebonia, rather. And Estelle is like learning all this for the first time.
あらゆる戦況に柔軟に対応できる立体的かつ多面的な指揮能力。
And she's even learning about how the quote-unquote enemy has that admiration, right? And I think that in a way helps soften Richard's demeanor of a villain to Estelle, probably. Because she sat there probably thinking, you know, what turned Richard into this? Because if he was with my dad, you know, then yeah. I think it softens it a bit for him.
単なる戦術にとどまらない。
Which is good. Good writing.
高度な戦略レベルでの部隊運用。どれをとっても並ぶ者はいなかった。
Sounds like you're talking about a totally different guy. Did you work with him during the 100-Day War too?
カシウスさんの下で戦ったよ。
Calls him Cassius-san now.
今でも覚えている。彼が立てた奇跡のような作戦を実行した時の熱気と興奮を。あの時のことを話し始めると、いくらあっても時間が足りないからまたの機会にさせてもらうが。
And I think this just shows how much Richard looks up to Cassius.
ただ、これだけは断言できる。あの時、カシウス・ブライトという男が王国軍にいなかったら。
Holy shit! I did not know that he said this.
エレボリアに吸収合併されていた。
That's crazy, actually. Yeah, I love this kind of. Yeah, it's just special. It just makes Trails special, man. No way. That's impossible.
信じられないようなことを成し遂げたから英雄なのさ。もっとも戦後すぐに退役して女王陛下の勲章すら誇示されたから名前が知られることはなかったが。
He just wanted to live a modest life with his daughter.
今でも一部の軍人の間ではカシウス大佐の名は英雄の代名詞だ。
And also Cassius is just such a sick fucking name, man. That penciled mustache old man never told me that. Well, it's not what a father would sit down and tell his daughter. Don't be too hard on him, okay? Hey, I'm the victim here. Wait a second, Joshua. You don't seem surprised by any of this. Don't tell me you already knew about this. Well, he was kind of sent on a mission to kill him. I didn't know Colonel Richard was one of Dad's subordinates, but as for the rest, yeah, I know most of it already. What? You were an accomplice? Calm down, Estelle. I mean, it's not like Dad told me everything anyway. Besides, he specifically asked me not to tell you. Oh, I can't believe this. When he finally gets back, I'm gonna let him have it. But I think it's just very good parenting from Cassius, because if he told his daughter all of that information, she would feel all the pressure of having to live up to who Cassius Bright as an individual is. But up until this point, Estelle's been kind of carving her own path without the prejudice of, oh, I have to be as good as my dad. And obviously, as the game has gone on, people have dropped that they knew Cassius, so she's kind of been figuring it out for herself. But by that point, she's already been molded as an individual. And I do think she has her moments where she kind of like suffers with that self-doubt that I am Cassius Bright's daughter. But yeah, I think Cassius, as a dad who has too much on his fucking plate, did a really good job in raising her. Sorry for getting sidetracked, Colonel Richard.
君たちを見て少し安心した。カシウスさんが軍を辞めるとき、私は必死に引き止めたものだが。
Estelle saying you knew my dad triggered someone else I watched play the game. Wait, what? Wait, is it just because it happens so much? Because it does happen a lot in this game where there's a lot of people who go, oh my god, you're Cassius's children. And then Estelle goes, what? This brought up a lot. Have they played the other games though? Because if this is the first game, if this is the only game they've played, I could maybe understand why they would be a bit like, oh, but why did I keep bringing this up? But then, if you've played all the other games, you understand it. They've played a lot of the games. Then I think they're looking at it from the wrong perspective then, basically. Because if you've not... You have to kind of take into context how little we know about the world in this one game. And Cassius is basically a superhero, let's just be honest. But we don't know that. So they have to drop the information to us about how good Cassius is. And obviously, like, if Estelle hasn't been told all of this stuff, of course she's going to be surprised by it. I don't know why someone would get fucking raged because of that, or triggered. You can't use the player's knowledge of the world. We're seeing this... Exactly, yeah. It's like... It's kind of like metagaming in Dungeons and Dragons, isn't it? It's... Yes, I as an individual know that the Dungeon Master has got an enemy behind that wall, but my character in the game doesn't know that. You know, you have to separate that kind of understanding of the situation you're in. You have to... If you're playing an RPG outside of the perspective... Like, not from the perspective of the characters within it, you're going to get annoyed at everything. Because there'll be instances where, like you say, a character gets surprised by some twist or turn that you saw coming 3 chapters ago. But they're not going to know that you saw a cutscene with those characters discussing that stuff. That's just impossible for them to know. So, your enjoyment of an RPG is from how well you can invest yourself in the perspective of the character and sort of think about, oh, they actually don't know this information, and then accepting their reaction when they learn it. That's just what makes a good story. But you have to be able to view it from that way. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm very good. I have a very vivid imagination, which I think helps me really delve into these kind of games, these deep, you know, story-driven RPGs. And I love trying to relate to characters from within the game. It just makes me, like, sometimes it just makes me really emotional. That I will try and put myself in their shoes, like, how are they feeling right now? And sometimes that can make me really emotional because I'm just like, holy fuck, I don't know how I would be able to hold that kind of emotion, right? So, yeah. But some people don't view it like that. Some people just play the game and they just try and, you know, they don't dig deeper into it than that. And that's a shame because that's what makes Trails special, is that kind of understanding of the characters. Because ultimately, this is a character-driven story. Because there's so many of them in the fucking game. And so if you're not able to kind of understand it from their view, or like put yourself in the shoes of the characters and what information they have, you're gonna, of course, you're gonna get triggered by things. But that's a shame. It's a shame that they got annoyed at that. You never see myself as the characters, but you're good at relating to them. So I don't think maybe I worded that wrong. I don't self-insert. I don't really self-insert in any games. But yeah, I'm really good at relating with them. But I like to try and put myself in their shoes in certain situations, not like throughout the whole story. Because I never see myself as like Joshua, because I'm not a fucking murderous Ouroboros killer assassin. You know what I mean? That's not me. I'm never going to be like that. So I can't relate. But there are obviously certain elements of his character that I can relate to or sympathize with because of things that have happened to me in real life. You know, Joshua's an example. You know, I'm not saying that I have experienced things he has. But there are other characters in Trails where I'm like, oh shit, I know what you're feeling because I have felt that way before. They use the term bad writing. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's a shame. But that's like that anywhere. It's like people who say a game is really bad or the story doesn't make sense, and then they've skipped like 5 cutscenes that make it important. It's like you lose all credibility in a saying like that when I've like, well, I've just watched you skip 2 cutscenes or not really pay attention. Why can you say this is bad writing, you know? Not a fan of... No, I don't think there should be silent protagonists. Not at all. I mean, I get why there are, because people like to self-insert if there's a... I think that's... I mean, we're going off topic here, but I think that's one of my biggest gripes with Cold Steel, is how they tried to make it like a... Not Reen being a silent protagonist, but the whole aspect of like trying to make Reen a self-insert and all of the different romance options you can have with him. Where it's just like, bro, just make Elisa the fucking canon option and leave it at that. But they wanted to sort of appease everyone, I guess. And, but they made it like, that was probably my biggest gripe with Cold Steel is in general, was having every woman fawn over Reen. And it was not because of Reen. I mean, Reen's a nice guy, and I can see why characters fell in love with him or fell for him. But like, the amount of characters that would just say things to him kind of just because it was like, we want to make all the girls like him because then it'll feel like you're dating them or whatever. Then yeah, that was my biggest gripe. But yeah, I don't really like silent protags really. Unless I guess unless it's like a harem game and the whole point is that you're supposed to self-insert, then sure. But that game's not going to try and hide what it is. Do you know what I mean? You hope they also do something with it in Daybreak, just set someone... I mean, I think they're going with the Onyez. I truly believe it's going to be the Onyez route. So yeah, I hope they stick with it. In Daybreak, it has to be Onyez or it has to be Elaine. There's no other option. It can only... Yeah, I just don't think it will be anyone else. So, yeah. You don't care who it is, just have someone so characters... Yeah, exactly. Just... I don't care if there's like a love triangle in the game, and I hope Daybreak nails it, because if they stick with the whole Van, Onyez, Elaine kind of thing, if they nail it, it could be very good writing, like really good writing. Because I love all of them. I love characters, right? But if they're gonna write a character heartbreak into a story, it has to be done well. But if it's done well, I don't care if I like that character. It will, you know, I won't think like, oh my god, fuck Falcon for not making Van date Elaine, for example. I'm never gonna say that. I just hope they do it well. Yeah. I think they've done it very well, honestly. I think Daybreak's romance is the second best after Estelle and Joshua's, honestly. But then again, like, the romance in Zero, in Crossbell and Cold Steel was like a bit kind of like meh. Like, I think it's the benefit with, or the silver lining with Azure and Zero was that there was so little. It was a much smaller cast than the other games. So on paper, it was like, if you're going to self-insert as Lloyd, your only real options are what? Noel, or Noelle, Tio, and Ellie, really. And Risha. So there's 4. But for me, I felt like that game was only ever really an Ellie romance simulator. Or Risha, I guess. Maybe. But yeah. Oh yeah, but that's a side character, right? It's not really a main character one. Yeah. But if we're talking about side ships, yeah, Miriel and Randy is a good one. Anyway. Rant over. Basically, the person you watch that got triggered, they need to just relax and enjoy the story a bit more. or pay a bit more attention.
どうやらその選択は彼にとって正解だったらしい。
Yeah, easy to get sidetracked, but it's easy to get sidetracked when you're talking about something you're passionate about, right? Obviously, I'm not disregarding that person's opinion on the game. If they don't like it or they say it's bad writing, then they can say that. But it's just a shame, really, right? That they're kind of that they're saying that because of their own actions. It's not because the writing's bad, it's because maybe you're just kind of missing the point. And the game can only dumb it down so much. I'll just say that. The games can only dumb down the story so much.
君たちがそばにいたのなら 奥さんを亡くされた悲しみからきっと立ち直れただろうからね。
Yeah. Colonel Richard. This is what I mean. I think this scene really humanizes Richard in the eyes of Estelle and Joshua. And they're going to sit there thinking, like, how bad can Richard really be? Is this truly just him? But I think Joshua has kind of caught on that it's not really him. He's just kind of the puppet. Because, but from the viewer's perspective, if you've never played any of the Trails games, you're going to think that Duke Dunan is the puppet and Richard is commandeering him. But obviously at this point we have no fucking clue about Ouroboros or anything like that. So yeah, okay. Sorry, feels like we didn't have much of much of interest. Wait, what? Oh, much of interest to say for ourselves.
いや、君たちは一番知りたかったことを教えてくれた。これで未練はなくなったよ。
Yeah. Because he wants what Richard is doing with this coup is the future of Laberle. So he sees Cassius's children and he's like, I'm doing this for them. You know, he thinks he's doing this for a noble cause, right? What do you mean by that?
近いうちにまた会う機会もあるだろう。その時にはカシウスさんとも一緒に話せるといいのだが。
Yeah, he's kind of busy fighting off bracers in Erebonia who are destroying the bracer guilds. Fucking Campanella, bro. Zin just at the bottom. Hey, gang! Fucking plastered. So, was that really Colonel Richard just now? Of course it was. You half asleep or something? I mean, the way he talked about Dad, it was so different from what I expected. Yeah, I guess he's not some mustache-twirling villain after all. Doesn't change the fact that he's definitely plotting something, though. Regardless of what happened with Dad, we have to remember that. Yeah, I guess you're right. I hate to say it, but his friendly just now might just be part of his plan. Exactly. And then they throw this spanner in the works and then they make you think, oh, maybe he's just doing that to, you know, make you feel less nervous around him or whatever. But yeah, it'd be easy for a trained intelligence officer to deceive kids like us. Maybe, but isn't that a little... My goat, Estelle! Isn't that a little cynical? Yeah, you're right. Leave the suspicions to me. You should just trust your own instincts. You should still have your guard up and be ready for anything. I think that's all part of what it means to be a bracer. Right. I guess I'll keep it in mind. Thanks, Estelle. Oh, stop it. Don't go thanking me. Anyway, we should hurry and find Lady Hilda. She's probably sick of waiting for us by now. Right, we should head to the maid's quarters. Where's Zin? I mean, I know he's probably in the room getting drunk on his gourd, but... we need to go down a floor, don't we? Hello, Hilda. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
エステル殿、ヨシュア殿、お待ちしていましたよ。ずいぶん遅うございましたね。
ごめんなさい。なんかリシャール大佐に捕まっちゃって。
大佐にですか？
僕たちの父のことについて昔話を聞かせてもらいました。こちらの動きについては気づかれてないと思います。
そうですか。紹介状によると、あなた方は
I guess it's because in this kind of section they do talk about Estelle and Joshua being Cassius's children, but like, sure, I guess maybe it's a bit annoying, but it's just the magnitude of Cassius's stature as a human being. This guy is just the goat in Laberle.
リシャール大佐が考えを抱くのもわかる気がします。
ヒルダさんも父さんを知ってるんですか？
昔はモルガン将軍の副官として王城によく来てらっしゃいました。亡き王子、陛下のご子息のご学友だったとも聞いております。
Oh, wow.
亡き王子って
Chloe's dad.
クローディア姫のお父上にあたる方ですね。
ええ、15年前の海難事故でお亡くなりになられました。王子さえ生きていらっしゃればこのような事態は起こらなかったでしょうに。起きてしまったことを悔やんでも仕方ありませんね。夜も更けてまいりました。早速支度をしていただきます。
I wonder who Chloe's mother was then. So if her father was the prince, Alicia's son, then I wonder who her mother was. I don't know if we ever find out really.
シア、いらっしゃい。
And get the makeup ready, Shia.
あなたは
確かシアさんとおっしゃいましたね。
どうもエステル様、ヨシュア様。
She's so cute.
事情は伺わせていただきました。
この子のことは信用してくださって結構です。姫様が城にいらっしゃる時にお世話をしている次女ですから。
姫様ってクローディア姫のことね。
それなら問題ありませんね。
恐縮です。
I guess she's a bit nervous because she's like, I'm gonna do Joshua's
で
makeup.
は用意した制服に袖を通していただけますか。リボンやカチューシャなど細かいところは私が整えさせていただきます。
ひょっとして。
Made Joshua time.
エステル殿には次女と同じ格好をしてもらって多少髪をいじらせていただければ見張りにも気づかれないでしょう。
なるほど。
確かに制服というのは個性を隠しやすいですからね。潜入するにはもってこいかもしれません。
へえ、メイドさんの服か。リラさんとかを見ていていいなって思ってたのよね。ヒラヒラしてて可愛いのにすごく動きやすそうなんだもん。動きやすくないとお掃除の時に困りますから。あ、やっぱりそうなんだ。早速着させてもらおうっと。
嬉しそうだな。はしゃぐのはいいけど陛下に失礼のないようにね。今度ばかりは僕もついてはいけないからね。
Yes, you will.
どうして？
You've dressed up as a woman before.
ヨシュアも着替えるんでしょ？
エステル殿。
Yeah, they were like, oh, we thought Joshua was just gonna stay here.
だってヨシュア学園祭の劇でお姫様の格好をしてたじゃない。ドレスもメイド服も同じでしょ？
あれはお芝居じゃないか。女王陛下にお会いするのに女装するなんてちょっと。
大丈夫大丈夫。全然みっともなくないから。だってヨシュアのお姫様姿すっごく綺麗だったもん。
また冗談はやめてよ。
Hilda, get the wigs.
ヒルダさんたちからも何とか言ってやってください。
They're looking at him like, fuck, he's too pretty.
なるほど。確かに問題なさそうですね。シア、確か姫様のためのヘアピースがありましたね。
Oh my god, I love that this is interesting. I don't know if I ever caught this before, but I love how they mentioned the hairpiece for the princess, where it's like Chloe goes from having short hair to long hair, right?
はい、一度も使われていないものが。
So they use one on Joshua.
長い黒髪ですから、ヨシュア様にもお似合いかと。
ちょっと。
それじゃあ3対1の多数決でファイナルアンサーってことでは、こちらにどうぞ。
She looks so happy. Just drag him in.
ちょっと待ってよ。僕は着替えるなんて一言も。
Yeah, too late, bro. We got bigger fish to fry.
分かったから。服くらい自分で脱げるってば。シアさん、化粧までするんですか？
最近の若い子たちと来たら。
Well, there's one. Estelle's very pretty as a maid. I love her with her hair down. She looks so much like her mother. It's crazy. Cute!
どうでしょうか。とってもよくお似合いですわ。
白働きに来たばかりの活発で朗らかな次女見習い。そんな説得力は十分ありますね。
完璧。
髪も下ろしていますから気づかれることはないでしょう。なんでしたらこのままグランセル城で働きますか？
遊撃士の仕事もあるからそれはちょっと。あ、それよりもちょっとヨシュア、早く出てきなさいってば。
どうしても出ないとダメかな。
They even got him a fucking boob piece.
うだうだ言ってると引きずり出しちゃうわよ。
分かったよ。もうしょうがないな。
Hilda's like, my god. My god. Holy
これ
shit.
もまた怖いくらいにお似合いですね。
It's Karen. Literally. They look so they do such a good job in this. This is actually really interesting. I mean, again, it's hindsight. You know, if you've not seen Karen yet, then you don't know, and you've not seen Lena yet. But, like, Estelle looks so much like Lena, and Joshua looks so much like Karen. It's so fucking good.
お化粧のしがいがありましたわ。
もういいです。何とでも言ってください。
さて、準備は整ったようですね。
To the Queen. I've just realized this stream is probably only going to be cutscenes. I didn't realize that there was like an hour and a half of
自助
cutscenes.
見習いとして扱いますので、
So
その
we
おつもりで。
so we go meet the Queen, and then we talk with the Queen, and then we go back to our beds, and then Almathea tries to be like, "Where were you?" And then Zin comes out and saves us. And then what happens the next day? Is that when we fight Lawrence in the morning? I don't fucking remember.
はい、わかりました。
So we've still got quite a bit of cutscenes to go.
いよいよ女王様と会えるのね。
This might genuinely just be a
ここが正念場だ
cutscene
ね。
stream
気
day.
を引き締めて、なんとか女王宮に入らないと。
その格好でシリアスに行っても似合わないかも。
悪かったね。シリアスが似合わなくて。こんな格好させておいて、よくもまあ抜け抜けと。
They haven't fucking discussed the boobs yet.
ごめんごめん、そんなにすねないでよ。今度アイスクリームでもおごってあげるからさ。
Fucking really stingy. You don't. Yeah, that is sad.
食べ物でごまかされたりしないよ。
私がいつ食べ物でごまかされたのよ。
Probably all the time.
本当に仲がいいんですのね。
Joshua has boob
時間
jiggle.
があ
That
りま
is
せ
so
ん。
funny.
さっさと上級に行きますよ。
Oh, we're playing this. Oh my god, look at this! He does have boob jiggle! That's so fucking crazy. Alright. Did we play as Hilda in the other one?
よしは顔がぎこちないわよ。ほら、さっき練習したセリフは？
This is so cute.
お帰りなさいませ、ご主人様。
よしよし、バッチリ。清楚な黒髪メイドさん、いい。
お戯れはほどほどに。そういえば他の招待客の皆様ともご面識があるとか。
ええ、できれば会わない方が。
夫人の影にいれば大丈夫でしょう。別人にしか見えない見えない。
Yeah, but the other guests will know who you are very easily. Whee! Alright, up we go. I don't know if there was a walking pass on the other is, okay. I didn't know if we would load directly in. I feel like there should be a path here, not just straight onto grass, but maybe that's just me. Oh my god, that's the bench. Or is it this bench? Is this the one where Chloe and Julia have their lunchtime date in their third door? That was a really nice scene, that one. It made me really emotional for some reason, because I really like Julia and Chloe. They're very good characters. Oh, we can run. Oh, sorry. I mean, I quite like the idea of us just walking the whole way. Ah, Lady Hilda. Visiting Her Majesty at such a late hour.
陛下に頼まれていた紅茶と食器類をお持ちしたのです。このような事態になって陛下も何かと不自由なさっていらっしゃるようですからね。
That's tough. Oh, who are these maids? I don't recognize
公
them.
爵閣下の命令で補充した新米の自助見習いです。今日城に入ったばかりです。
They certainly are pretty.
どうも。
Oh, you look familiar.
年頃の娘をそんな風にじろじろ見るとは何事ですか。もしやよからぬことを考えているのではないでしょうね。
Hilda is so goated.
何かあったら公爵閣下や大佐殿に抗議させてもらいますよ。
Yeah, you leave the maids alone. Nothing untoward. We are the elite soldiers of the Royal Army. We'd never engage in such
なら
behavior.
ば良いのです。ところでいい加減通していただけないでしょうか。
My apologies. Please go right ahead. I love doing voices for stupid characters like that. Oh yeah, they ask their names as they leave, don't they? Yeah. Queen Alicia! Phew, I was so nervous. Thanks, Lady Hilda. You're a lifesaver. In English, Hilda's voiced by the same VA as Sharon. Oh, that's weird. Sharon has a young voice. Did she just do the same voice? Because I don't know how that would work. That was very well done. I'm glad I could be of help. It's an older voice, okay. Now, would you like to change before we meet Her Majesty? If you don't mind staying in those outfits, we can proceed right away. I don't mind staying at change. Let us change. I feel like we should have just stayed in the outfits because it's going to be annoying to have to get back. I guess Joshua doesn't want to meet the queen, and you know what, it's fair enough, yeah. No need to be shy. Would it really kill you to stay dressed like that? Our appearance affects our credibility. No way I was going to stay dressed like that. By the way, Lady Hilda, this room... Yes, this is Princess Claudia's room. However, she doesn't usually reside in the castle, so it's rarely used. Whoa, really? I thought the princess was taking care of the queen. It was a lie too, wasn't it? You could ask Her Majesty for the details in person. Her room is located on the second floor of the Royal Keep. Let us head there now. Alright, now we can like it. Woo! Because I remember in the originals, they didn't... when you had like NPCs, they didn't have running animations. They would just walk really quickly. But in this one, they've actually kind of given them a little run animation, which is nice. I probably should have saved there just to make sure. I don't think we go straight into any boss fights, so...
先ほどお話ししたエステル殿とヨシュア殿をお連れしました。ご苦労様でした。どうぞ入っていただいて。かしこまりました。私はここで待たせていただきます。さあ、お二人はどうぞ中へ。
はい。
失礼します。
Queen Alicia is definitely not sick and not dying.
ようこそいらっしゃいましたね。
Well, I don't think they said she was dying. They just said she was sick.
私の名はアリシア・フォン・アウスレーゼ。リベール王国第26代国王です。
エステル・ブライトです。遊撃士協会の準遊撃士です。
同じく準遊撃士のヨシュア・ブライトと言います。お初にお目にかかります。
エステルさんとヨシュア殿ね。あなたたちに会えるのを本当に楽しみにしていました。大したもてなしはできませんが、お茶の用意くらいはできます。
Teaser by the Queen. Let's fucking
どうぞ
go.
ゆっくりしていってくださいな。
Ugh. I should probably stick my phone on charge.
ラッセル博士はそんなことを。あらゆる動力現象を停止させる漆黒のオーブメント。そんなものを大佐は手に入れているのですか。
博士は女王陛下ならばリシャール大佐がそれを何に使うかわかるかもしれないと言いました。何か心当たりはありますか？
一つだけ心当たりがあります。
Yeah.
ですが、大佐がそれを知っているとは思えません。私の思い過ごしであるといいのですが。
Yeah.
その
It's in the
心当たり
basement.
っていうのは
The Tetralic
あな
Towers.
たたちにならお話ししても構わないでしょう
Oh
ね。
no, it's the ring. It's the ring.
十数年前、この王都の地下に巨大な動力反応が検出されたのです。その調査に当たってくれたのが中央工房のラッセル博士でした。
巨大な動力反応。
王都の地下ということは
The Oriole.
地下水路の近辺でしょうか？
いいえ、水路よりもさらに深い地下から検出されたそうです。博士は未だ機能を失っていない古代文明の遺物が埋まっているのではないかとおっしゃってい
Oriole
ました。
Cinema. Oriole Cinema.
古代文明の遺物って。
アーティファクトと呼ばれる古代動力機のことだね。大半は 塔の頂上の装置みたいに機能が死んでしまっているけど、稀にダルモア市長の家宝のように機能が生きているものもあるみたいだ。
そんなものが王都の地下に。それじゃあのゴスペルってのは。
埋まった異物の機能を停止させるために使われる、その可能性があるということですね。
ええ。ですが、その異物がどんなもので何のために埋められたものかははっきりしていないのです。ラッセル博士の調査自体も非公式で行われたものですし、大佐がどこで存在を知ったのか、私には不思議でなりません。
そうですか。いずれにせよ良くないことが起こる可能性がありそうですね。
まったく、ちょっと見直したのにろくなことを考えていないわね。
I mean, yeah, but he is being a bit
みんなに
controlled,
迷
so
惑がかかるんだったら、まさしく遊撃士の出番だわ。なんとかして大佐を阻止しないと。
さすがはカシウス殿のお子さんたちね。
the third time. Oh my god, you know Dad?
父と面識が終わりだったんですか？
I wonder if it was at this point that guy
亡
got
くな
triggered,
った息子
Raxor.
の友人でしたし、
Was it by the
王
third
国
one?
を救った英雄ですからね。
I mean, he's
軍を辞め
goated.
て遊撃士になってからも
Even the
依頼
Queen
を
knows
通じ
them.
てお世話になりました。
The best one is when Ragnar says it. Because we're going up in tears. And I think that's what makes it really funny. It's like, as we go through the first and the second game, we just gradually get stronger or like more influential people talking about Cassius. You know, you start off with like mayors and then like Killiker and like Zin, you know. And then you move up and it's like Colonel Richard. And you're like, oh shit, he's the bad guy in this game. Cassius is kind of him, you know. And then the Queen says it. And then you're like, oh! The Queen of this whole kingdom knows of Cassius fucking Bright. That is some peak shit. And then we get to second chapter, and then a fucking ancient dragon goes, you smell like my goat Cassius Bright. I think that's where it peaks, to be honest. And then, yeah, and then eventually it'll go to the Grandmaster. And I hope... You know what? How sick would it be, though, if it's like... I don't know. Just Cassius just gets more and more... You know what? There's one thing I hope in this series, I think more than anything, is by the end of the game, I hope Cassius picks up the sword again. But I don't know, because he gave it to Annalise, right? I don't know. I want Cassius back as a Divine Blade by the end of the series, you know? Like, shit is about to hit the fucking fan, and Cassius just whips out his sword and goes Divine Blade on their ass, you know? I want that.
そうだったんだ。
それは知りませんでした。
彼の性格を考えれば知らないのも無理はありませんね。ひょっとして10年前の戦争で彼がどのように活躍したのか、
He saved the
そのこ
country.
ともご存じないのかしら。
詳しいことはあんまり。
ならばこれは私の役目なのかもしれませんね。エステルさん、ヨシュア殿、少々年寄りの昔話に付き合っていただけませんか？
はい、もちろん。
拝聴させていただきます。
10年前の春のことです。
Not quite.
エレボニア帝国の南部である痛ましい事件
Yeah,
が
she
起こりま
avoids
した。
talking about Harmel, which is
未だ原
understandable.
因が分かっていないため、事件についての説明は省かせ
Well,
ても
no,
らい
you
ます
know
が、
you're just hiding it, but I respect it.
その事件をきっかけに帝国はリベールに宣戦布告をしたのです。後に100日戦役と呼ばれる不幸な日々の始まりでした。帝国軍は 宣戦布告と同時に大兵力をもってハーケン門を突破。リベールは王都を除いて瞬く間に全土を占領されました。侵攻してきた兵力は王国軍のおよそ3倍だったと言われています。カルバードからの援軍も間に合わず、もはや王都が占領されるのも時間の問題かと思われました。しかし開戦から2ヶ月後、誰もが予想しなかった形で戦局が大きく変化したのです。
Cassius Bright locked the
当時
fuck
開
in
発され
and
たば
opened his
か
eyes.
りの警備飛行艇が各地方を結ぶ関所を奪回し、帝国軍の連絡網を断ち切りました。そしてレイストン要塞から王国軍の総兵力が水上艇で出撃し、各地方を奪還していったのです。ファイス、ルーワン、ボース、ロレント、各地を占領していた帝国軍の師団は補給を断たれ、撃破されました。
I'll
こ
talk
の
about something
反
at the
抗
end,
作
yeah.
戦を立案した人物こそカシウス・ブライト大佐、モルガン将軍の右腕であり、リシャール大佐の上官だったあなたたちのお父様だったのです。その後、
That's
遊
him.
撃士協会と
Yo,
七曜協
Osborne,
会の仲裁もあ
Van
って、
Dyke, and
ようやく
Craig
戦
as
争は
well.
終結を迎え
That's
ました。
sick.
Wait! Wait!
Isn't that... I was gonna say, isn't that Gramhart behind Richard with Wait, isn't that Morgan? Isn't that supposed to be Morgan? No, Morgan has more of a beard than a mustache now. Maybe it... Why would Burgard be here though?
この時、
Oh no, there's Morgan. Yeah, it is Burgard then. Yeah, Morgan's shaking the hands. Interesting. That's such a I love this shit. Yeah, we've got Craig on the left, Craig, and then Osborne. Yeah, you're right. It is, but yeah. I guess it makes sense that Burgard was there. He is like the oldest Grolsritter, more experienced, right? I did not expect to see Gramhart in the background though.
カシウス殿は大切なものを失っていたのです。
Yeah, I just think about what this war took.
それは、
Oh, bro, look at her. She's
レナ・ブライトさん、
no Lena.
エステルさんのお母様でした。あの時計塔は反抗作戦によって追い詰められた帝国軍師団の抵抗により
Makes sense after what he told
破
Van
壊され
Inter.
た
Yeah,
のです。
exactly.
そしてあとはあなたも知っている通り、カシウス殿は奥様の死すらも見届けることができませんでした。
Bro, it's so fucking sad, man.
そんな事情だったなんて。
自分が立てた作戦が結果的に奥様を死なせてしまった。その自責の念からカシウス殿は軍を辞めて遊撃士の道に入りました。残されたあなたのそばにいるために、そして今度こそ自分の手で愛する人々を守れるように。
バカよ、父さん。父さんのせいでお母さんが死んじゃっただなんて、そんなことあるわけないのに。
エステル、
ええ、そうですとも。すべては大切な民を守れなかったこの力なき女王の責任なのです。ごめんなさい、エステルさん。お母様を守ることができなくて、そのことをずっと謝りたいと思っていました。
謝る必要なんてありません。女王様は戻ってきた平和をずっと守ってくださった。父さんたちは必死になってこの国を守ってくれた。お母さんは命がけで私のことを守ってくれた。それで十分だと思うんです。
I'm gonna break so fucking much when we get the Luciola dream sequence with Estelle, man. I am going to
あなたに会
die.
うことができて本当によかった。今心からそう思えます。
女王様。
でもだからこそあなたには危険なことをしてほしくありません。これ以上今回の事件に関わりを持ってほしくないのです。
Oh, hang on, did my screen just flicker or is that just me blinking?
でも私たちユリアさんに女王様の助けになるように頼まれて。
ありがとう。その心だけいただいておきますね。カシウス殿の留守中にあなたに万が一のことがあったら今度は何とお詫びしていいのか。どうかロレントのお家に帰って
No.
お父様の帰りを待っていてください。
Negative.
でも
ですが女王陛下、父カシウスが取り戻し陛下が守り続けてきた平和が今まさに揺らごうとしています。
ヨシュア殿。
ゴスペルの件もそうですが、このまま大佐の狙い通り公爵閣下が国王となった場合、その平和はどうなるんでしょうか。そのことを考えていただきたいんです。
女王様、私たち遊撃士になって父さんの代理で仕事をしました。それから空賊事件に関わって手紙が届いて、変な小包を開けてそのまま各地を旅してきて、まるで父さんに背中を押されてここまで来たような気がするんです。だから私も守りたい。
And that's why Estelle's just kind of the best main character in this entire, well, honestly probably the best character in this entire series, and she's like the
私
first
の
one,
大好きな人たちは
which is crazy.
女王様やお母さんたちみたいに
She's just such a likable, upbeat, happy character. It's insane. There are so many times when Estelle can struggle and look down upon herself. I genuinely think the only real true moment of weakness we see about Estelle is at the start of the second chapter. And when she lets it all out, she gets back up, dusts herself off, and goes again. And that's why she's just kind of, she's just
遊
her.
撃士協会にあることを依頼させてもらおうと思います。
女王様。
陛下、なんなりとお
You
っし
know
ゃ
what?
って
This
くだ
just
さい。
reminded me, like, if this was like Agate, if Agate was here, he'd be like, give us the money, bitch. We don't work for free. You want to make a request to the guild, you gotta pay up.
依頼内容は情報部によって囚われている方々の救出です。これは私の孫娘であるクローディアのことも含みます。
Exactly. You gotta pay the bracer tax, bitch. I don't work for free. I can actually picture Agate saying something like that, man. He's too funny. He did it with Ragnar. Why would he not do it with Alicia? You know what I mean?
思えば今回のクーデターは私があの子を次期国王として襲おうとしたことから始まりました。
I guess they realized they couldn't control
デュナン
Claudia.
公爵ではなくですね。
こう言ってはなんですが、我が追いながらデュナン公爵はいろいろと問題の多い人物でした。対して未熟ではありますが、孫娘には光るものがありました。王国の未来を考えた結果、私はクローディアを襲おうと心に決めたのです。
姫様のことはほとんど知りませんけど、
Yes, you do.
それってどう考えても正しい判断だと思いますよ。
ですが、いつの世にも 女性が権力を持つことに反対する向きはあるものです。
Yeah, sexist
ましてや
motherfuckers.
大国から侵略を受けた記憶もまだ新しい現在、2代続けての女王による統治が結果的に国を弱くしてしまう、そう考える人物が現れたとしても何ら不思議ではなかったのです。
なるほど。それがリシャール大佐ですか。
その通りです。彼は私がクローディアを次期国王に襲おうとしていることをいつの間にか掴んでいました。そしてその事実を公爵に伝えて今回のクーデターを決行したのです。すべては公爵を影から操り、リベールを周辺の大国に劣らぬ強大な軍事国家にするために。
なるほど。ようやく事件の全貌が見えてきました。
強大な軍事国家にする。
Raising up the fucking powers.
具体的にはどうするの？
いろいろ考えられるよ。税率を上げて軍事費を増大したり、大量破壊を目的とした動力兵器を開発したり、大規模な徴兵制を採用したり、リベールでは認められていないイェーガーとの契約を合法化したり。
そんな。
まさに同じようなことを大佐は私に要求しました。それは純粋な愛国心から来る発言だと思えたのですが。
Yeah, like it would be one thing if it's to build it up for the defense of the country, but it feels like he's using it as an invasion attempt, right? But
どうしてもそれが
at
正
the
し
end
い
of the
とは
day,
思
we
え
know
なかったので
Ouroboros
す。
just want the nations to fuck each other up.
国を守っているのは軍事力だけではありません。他国と協調していく外交努力もそうですし、技術交流や経済交流を通じて諸国全体を豊かにすることだって。
まさに陛下のおっしゃる通りだと思います。
お互いが死んじゃわなくちゃ。
ですが大佐はその考えを
Wow.
めめしい理想論と断じました。そしてクローディアの安全と引き換えに大位を要求したのです。多くの者が家族を人質に取られ、大佐に逆らえなくされています。ですが私は女王です。肉親への情のために国の未来を売り渡すことはできません。
We've actually got to save Claudia first. She's at the Herb Royal Castle Scenery or whatever, the Herb Royal Manor.
ただそうは言ってもあの子は私のたった一人の孫娘。見殺しにはしたくないのです。
女王様、どうか安心してください。
依頼の旨しかと承りました。必ずや姫殿下を含めた囚われの方々を救出いたします。
ありがとうエステルさん、ヨシュア殿。これで大佐の脅しにも最後まで屈さずに済みそうです。
他にも依頼はないんですか？ゴスペルの件もあるし。
Yeah, true. We haven't really
ここ
spoken
から
about the
女王
gospel
様
yet.
を逃がすことだって。
ありがとうエステルさん。ですが私が逃げたところで事態が変わるわけではありません。それと私から大佐に真意を問いただしてみようと思います。
Oh, sorry. My finger was on A and I kind of cut it. Alright, we're changed again. I gotta say, she really is an amazing woman. Kind yet strong-willed and with such dignity. When I get older, I hope I can be a cool granny just like her. Cool granny? I do agree that she had quite a presence, fit for a queen. Yeah. I really want to stop this coup and help her, but that's a bit beyond our scope. For now, let's do what we can on our own. Yeah, you're right. You know, I never dreamed the queen would have stories to tell me about my dad. Wonder how much I still don't know about him. Estelle, Joshua, are you ready? Oh, yeah. Then let's hurry back to the maid's quarters. It's already past 11, nearly midnight, I should think. Seriously? It's that late already? We did spend a long time talking with Her Majesty. If we stay any longer, the guards might be suspicious. I feel like it's at least been a few hours, right? Alright, Hilda, we need you to lock in and get us out of here. Lady Hilda, heading home for the night, are you?
ええ、そうさせていただきます。くれぐれも陛下に失礼のないようお願いします。
Talk about a cold attitude. Rest assured, ma'am, we're all loyal patriots here.
頼もしいことで何よりです。それでは私たちはこれで失礼させていただきます。
どうも。
どうも She's so
失礼
nervous.
いたします。
Hold on, ladies. I just remembered I didn't get your names. Can you tell me just for the record?
その
That sure is a pretty name. Suits you quite well.
そのありがとうございます。
Lena was the only option. And who's this young lady with the black hair?
カリンと申します。
Karen mentioned! No! Karen, huh? That sure is a pretty
あり
name.
がとうございます。私もこの名前はとても気に入っています。
I see. I'm a member of the Special Ops and...
そのくらいにしてください。これ以上は下心ありとみなしますよ。
No, I wouldn't dare. Please take Karen your way back. Hilda's death stare is stronger than Colonel Richard's coup, that's for fucking sure. And away we go! Whee!
ヨシュアってばモテモテね。あの連中、ヨシュアが名乗ったら目の色変えてたもんね。
そんなことないってば。君だって結構話が弾んでいたじゃないか。
私の時はあの連中別に緊張してなかったもん。
I don't know why.
なんだかちょっと自信なくなっちゃったな。
Nah, you're cute as heck.
何を騒いでおるのだ。
Oh my god. I completely forgot about drunk Dunan and this scene. Oh my god, yeah.
これは公爵か。
Philip!
なんだ、助官長ではないか。あや、なんだその次女たちは。見たことのない顔だが。
Philip's already clocked
新
us.
しく入った次女見習いのレナとカリンと申します。
I wonder if I said like Shara. I guess Hilda, she would have had to have said the different thing there. Drunk Dunan, best Dunan. I don't know if there's even a best Dunan. I feel like the only good Dunan we see is when he goes a bit more regal in the second chapter when he actually fixes shit up.
まだ城内に不慣れなものでいろいろ案内しているところです。
Philip!
気づかれた？
まずいな。この人とは何度か会っているから気づかれてもおかしくない。
なんだフィリップ、まじまじと顔を見つめて。堅物のお前にしては随分と珍しいではないか。
これは失礼しました。私の姪に似ていたので一瞬目を疑ってしまい
And
ま
this
し
is
た。
the moment you notice that Philip is a good egg.
お嬢さん方、申し訳ございませんでしたな。
いえい
どうかお気になさらずに。
見ればどちらもなかなかの上玉ではないか。特に栗色の髪の方は健康的ですこぶるいいの。
Calling a person lively and healthy is a bit weird. Yeah, that would make me shiver.
黒髪の方はもう少々腰に張りが欲しいところだな。
It is very creepy.
恐縮です。
そうだな。レナとやら今夜の都議を申し付けるぞ。
公爵閣下。
ねえ、
No.
都議って何？
Joshua,
なんて言えばいいのか。
go easy on our pure little Estelle.
いくらなんでもお戯れが過ぎますわよ。城勤めの次女はすべて女王陛下に仕える身です。そのことをお忘れですか？
わかったわかった。めってく冗談の通じないやつだ。どうせ1週間後にはこの城は私のものになるのだ。その時までのお楽しみにとっておくとしようかの。
閣下、いい加減になさいませ。
暴飲暴食ならともかく色に走るなど言語道断。このフィリップ一命をとして追い攻めさせていただきま。
だから冗談だと言っているであろうが。もういい、今夜はとっとと休むぞ。
さすがは閣下でいらっしゃいます。
Philip was ready to go a bit ham.
そちらが閣下の部屋です。足元にお気をつけください。
そうだ、レナとやら困ったことがあったら遠慮なく私に相談するがいい。次期国王自ら親身に相談に乗ってやろう。ういやつじゃ。
Oh, that's such a good face for Resto.
愉快愉快。
どうもお騒がせしました。多分閣下は明日の朝になれば何どうかご安心くださいませ。
そう願いたいものですわね。
本当に申し訳ありません。夫人、お嬢様方、それでは失礼いたします。
NP Philip, it's a tough life for you, bro.
あの男とき相変わらず余計な苦労を背負い込んでいるようですね。
あれ、ヒルダさんって
幼い頃からの知り合いです。もっとも今では使える方も立場も隔たっていますが。
そうだったんですか。
確かにフィリップさんって見るからに苦労性な感じよね。
Stay hydrated all.
公爵が大佐にそそのかされてる状況にハラハラしてるんじゃないかしら。
その可能性は高そうだね。そういえばエステル、君だってモテてるじゃないか。公爵は君の方が好みだってさ。
なんだかちっとも嬉しくないんですけど。ところで結局トギって何だったの？
それは
エステル殿、そのようなことを殿方に聞いて困らせるものではありませんよ。お耳を拝借。
Segs.
理解できましたか？
まったく無防備なんだから。
So innocent and pure, our little Estelle. Alright, back to regular fit. Lady Hilda, Shea, thank you so much for all your help. You really helped us out. Think nothing of it. We were merely doing our duty as servants of Her Majesty. As for Her Majesty's request, I hope you'll take it to heart. Please do whatever you can to save the princess. Oh, Shea, you're the princess's maid, aren't you? Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't get to serve her directly, but Her Highness is always so warm and kind. She treats me as a friend. I've hardly slept a wink since I heard she was captured. I understand. We'll definitely save her, so don't you worry. We should get going. Alright. Guys, I think this is where we're going to call it, because I know there's more cutscenes coming up, and I'm getting a bit hungry. So, we're going to call it there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Oh, hang on. Where's my mic on? I clicked the mic button on my my controller, but it didn't really matter. Thank you all for watching. We will be back on Thursday with another stream, where we're closing in on the sort of the final dungeon section. So obviously we'll have the we have the rescue Claudia bit. We have to fight Lawrence then after, and then we will have the final dungeon. I think that's kind of the order of big events. So save Chloe, fight Lawrence, dungeon. So yes. We'll do some progress this week. I'll see you all on Thursday. Hope to see you there. If you're watching on YouTube, we stream every Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Come hang out on Twitch. But until then, guys, have a lovely start of your week, and I'll see you all in a couple of days for the next stream. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love. Mwah. Bye-bye.